As you can see, we flipped around our workpiece and turned it so that we can now hollow out the inside of the bowl. We're going to be using the same tool for this, and I'd like you to notice that the wood is very, very chippy and dry and has all this tear out in it. I'm going to show you a secret way of hollowing out the inside where you'll completely eliminate this and therefore cut your sanding in half. The part of the tool we're going to be using for this cut is from the nose down to the wing. This is enabling us to take very, very rough cuts and take away a lot of the waste wood very quickly. I'd like you to notice the technique that I'm using while making this cut. I'm going to keep my tool against the tool rest with a hand underneath it, grabbing the tool, and a finger underneath the tool rest, holding it down. My handle is going to be grabbed by my hand and pushed into my hip. The flute of my tool is going to be put at a 45-degree angle so that when I cut, the shavings are going to be extracted from the workpiece and onto the ground. Now, using our technique, we're going to hollow out the inside of this bowl. I'd also like you to notice that I'm working from the outside of the bowl, the thick part, down to the center. This is going to provide me with much better control against catches. You should continue doing this cut until your walls are twice the desired thickness of your final wall. This cut is called the refining cut. A refining cut is going to shape the inside of the bowl to the relative shape that we want it to be for the final dimension. The part of the tool I'm going to be using is the side of the tool. This is a very unorthodox style cut that I'm about to show you. So if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't try it. I'd like you also to notice that I position my tool rest as close to the wood as I can, actually going inside the bowl. The tool positioning on this cut is going to be like this. You want to keep the tool almost exactly horizontal. You never want to raise the bottom of this, which is the side of the grind, up. If you raise it up, the wood is going to catch the tool and spin it away from you, causing the wood to either fall off the lathe or you to maybe get hurt by the gouge. Instead, we're going to keep this slightly below center and pull through the cut very slowly, trying to take off just a little bit of wood and refine the shape as we go. Now let's make some shavings with this. Now you can see that the bowl is at a much smoother quality and the shape is refined to what I want. The last cut we're going to be doing on the inside of the bowl is a finish cut. And this is a finish cut that you probably haven't seen before. The usual finish cut is using the gouge in a horizontal position and doing a push cut going all the way to the bottom of the bowl. This is a decent cut, but it sometimes leaves room for error with tear outs and uneven walls. This cut that I'm going to be doing involves the very tip of the tool. I first learned of it by a man named Dustin Coates, who's a professional turner in northern New Hampshire. The tip of the tool is going to be doing all the cutting and create a very, very smooth surface and a very, very even cut going down through the piece. Now let's see how my cut will do on a finished piece. One of the benefits to my cut, other than the regular finish cut that you saw, is that it leaves such a smooth surface. And this will cut down your sanding time by 50% at least, if you learn to use the cut properly. For this section of the video, we're going to switch to spindle grain orientation with turning with an Ellsworth gouge. This can be done very easily. Spindle orientation is when the grain is running horizontal or parallel to the bed of the lathe. We can use a bowl gouge to do many different kinds of cuts on spindle grain orientation, such as roughing, using it somewhat similar to a spindle gouge, roughing gouge, skew, and many other tools.